What's up, friends? Just finished my first class of the school year and just thought I would break down like my first day for you guys. I do have a blog post that kind of outlines this, gives a PDF outline of everything I do in my first basically 2 weeks of school. Over the years, as I've grown my program, when your kids come in and they already know you and they already know the rules, depending on how many new students you have, you can kind of fly through the rules and procedures because it's really just a quick review. Like I can now, when my kids come in, I just had a first grade class and I said, hey, teacher's talking, what are we doing? And they all said, listening. And they all already know the stopping signal and they know the consequences and the rules and expectations. So I can move pretty quickly, even with those first grade students that were here in kindergarten, because I only had 1 or 2 new students in that class. Now, if you have a class that has a lot of new students, or if it's your first year teaching, you're gonna have to move slower because kids are, building that relationship for the first time. You don't know the kids' names yet. You're learning and they're learning the rules and expectations. So you're gonna move a little bit slower. But this is what I do for my first year with the asterisk that I've been at the school for. This is my 17th year at the same school. I know all the students know me except for the new students. And kindergarten looks a little bit different since they're mostly all new students. So I have a blog post that outlines all of my tips for kindergarten. You can check that out. I'll link that as well in the description of the video. So today, for example, I just had a first grade class. When they come in, I have them walk down the black line of the gym. So we walk in this door right here. Kids will be coming in this door right here. They'll walk down the black line, and that's kind of our entry procedure every day once we get started. After I do a quick intro, I'll tell them that that's what we'll do normally, and we'll normally start with the instant activity, but we're gonna come over here to the white square because I have some intro slides and things to show them, with just like introductory stuff. And so once they're, they come in, I do, hey, I'm Coach Landers, welcome back. I can't believe y'all are in first grade. Oh my goodness, you've grown so much. Seeing my new kids in the class. And usually I have a roster and sometimes it's all correct. So I always, when the classroom teacher drops them off, I say, hey, we got 21 kids in here. Just want to make sure my rosters are correct. And then any new kids that got added last minute, I'll just like make a note of that. So they come down and sit. I do a quick roll call of making sure I know what kids go by and making sure I have everybody on my list that is in the class, just for safety reasons. If there was an emergency, you want to have a list of knowing who all is in your class. And also you want to know which kids go by their first name or is their second middle name or what nicknames they go by and things like that. I do a quick intro on the slides of like, I'm Coach Landers. These are things I like to do. This is my family. I show them a little quick summer recap video. I let them tell me a quick thing about their summer, like one place they went or their favorite thing they did, not a 5-minute story. And then after that, we will go over and sit down in front of my rules poster, which is over on the wall. I have a link to a video going over the rules. If you want to see that, I'll link it up as well. And for first grade, I fly through that pretty quickly because they only need the 3 basic things, which is teachers talking, what are we doing, listening, got something to say, what should we do, raise your hand, and hands and feet to yourself. Also in first grade is when I start sending home tennis shoe notes. So I always tell the kids, I kind of explain to them our system, that if they forget their tennis shoes on their PE day, I'll send a little reminder note home with their parents just to help them remember for safety to try to wear tennis shoes on PE days. After that, we come back and sit in the middle white square. I tell them about the bathroom rules, which is basically just if the music's on, that means you can go. If the music's off, so that means I need you to wait. We talk about our bathroom procedures, and then we talk about emergency procedures, like where they line up for a fire drill. We practice lining up, where they line up for a tornado drill. So I go through that stuff pretty quickly, and then we do a game, usually of adventure bingo, with my first and second graders. And then sometimes if I don't have very much time, even with a 3rd grade class, I'll do adventure bingo. And then with my 4th and 5th graders, or if I have a little more time, sometimes with 3rd grade, I'll do the crazy cards challenge. I have YouTube videos on both of those games. Are great first week of school activities and have a lot of good ways to like talk about getting to know people in your class and introducing yourself to new people and things that kids need to be thinking about and have a chance to meet the people in their class and get to know some of the names and things like that. And if I have any new students and there's only 1 or 2 new students, I'll just remind my kids that are alumni coming back from the previous year, like, hey, I know what it's like to be a new kid. I had to switch schools in high school and go to a brand new school, and it's really scary. So I want y'all to make sure that you take this person under your wing, and when you're out of the cafeteria or when you're out of recess, like show them where everything is and help them understand how to be a student here at this school and be a good friend. So those are kind of the things that we do in that first week. Usually I save the other procedural things like the conflict corner and the self-assessment until week 2, just because I want to make sure we have enough time to do an activity and I make a good first impression with the kids. We have some fun. They get to know their classmates and things like that. So then during week 2 is when I'll do like the self-assessment procedure that we do every day, our daily self-reflection. I'll talk about the conflict corner. We'll learn our daily warm-up during week 2. And then I'll usually play a team building game like hula hut relays or cross the river. All of those things are linked up at the first week of school blog post, the daily self-reflection, the conflict corner, the daily warm-up, all that stuff. So if you're interested, that's kind of how I break down my first 2 weeks of school. And I take those first 2 weeks to get in the procedural management stuff, review expectations, and also focus on team building and cooperative games. So that's what we do for our first couple weeks. Again, kindergarten is a little different, so you can check out our tips for teaching kindergarten post if you would like to. And I hope that's helpful. Good luck out there. Hope you have a great start to school if you are also starting around the same time. And as always, have fun and teach on. Catch you later.